Good morning, Risk Raider fans, Olympic fans, Super Bowl fans. It's a huge weekend for all sports, and we've got a great show today talking about back to school, back to college, really is what we're going to be talking about.
I love it. I love it. We're going to do a little bit of the college life. Last week, we talked to Rick Bondron at Texas Tech on the Risk Management School, and then Brent and I got lit up about going back to school, university, go get 1 million degrees that no one will give us. So we have this thing, too, that if you're interested in giving out honorary degrees to the Risk Raiders, we are open, but we do want to pledge. We're opening to pledging to all that. But, man, I'm excited. Yeah. This is going to be a great episode. Welcome, everybody, to Risk Raiders, two experienced, handsome young agents who not are selling you one thing. We're here to share and give everything we have away to you. And we're not your agent. We don't know you, but just remember, you have an agent. They're your professional. Go to them for all their advice. We're not giving you advice. We're going to entertain you. We're going to give you some great information for you and your family or some other little mind person walking around who needs this stuff. But don't call us. Call them. And man, I'm ready to get into it because I'm one of those parents. Now, listen, this show is not just for parents of kids who are going to be heading off to college. You may have a kid in college. You may be going off to trade school. You may, I was thinking about this. You could even at some points, if you're in the military or you're in things where you might be living temporarily and taking stuff with you in these sorts of situations. And this show is for you. You need to share it with everybody you know. But I'm in that situation. I got a senior in high school.
I know you're in the.
I'm in it.
Send your kid off to school. And that's quite a thing. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts to sending a kid off to college. As you well know, there's roommate issues. There's, what do I take with me? Do I take a car? Do I, where am I going to live? Am I going to live off campus or on campus? Some schools are so crowded, there's not enough dorms. And so you're going to have to live off campus, which is unfortunate because living in the dorm is kind of a thing. It's a rite of passage, I guess, if you will. And I know I had a lot of fun in the dorm at Tech and I lived
at home. I was here in town. I saved my parents I know. But we've talked about it. I'm an awkward human being. So it's probably good. It was probably good. I was on campus all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I did a lot of stuff, and actually it wasn't as, I still wished I would have, and you should. I agree with that. My
100%.
My son's going to.
Yeah, your son should move into the dorm at Tech.
Oh, he's just ready to get away from me.
I still remember my room number 408, room 408, Clement Hall.
Wow.
Man, what a blast that was. Good
That's
grief.
The one that they boarded up about 10 years. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's still there. It's still there.
Yeah, we did the tour.
It looks the same.
It's probably the exact same bed that was in there when you were there.
It's the same mattress, probably. I mean, I don't know that they upgraded anything.
No, they just spray it down. It just smells like pine
just
sol.
Fumigated the room.
They got the pine sol out. It's all cleaned up.
Sent the remediation firm in there to remediate. That room was messy when we left it. I'm going to tell you right now.
Hazmat goes in there and then they come out. We need the pine sol. And we're like, oh my God, not the pine sol. It was a Borgstedt room.
Dude, that room was so bad. My roommate and I neither one of us were cleaners. And so it was, and they, nowadays kids go to college in their dorms, they have maids. Are you kidding me?
Oh, I didn't know
maid?
Wow, that's a fantastic idea. But no, we're not going to be hiring the maid for the son. Everything's going to be great. The only problem with college right now for me is the FAFSA. I freaking hate the FAFSA. I still haven't completed it. I don't care to. I'm not going to probably unless I can get by with it. But that is a form from hell. And it's the worst thing to have to go through as a parent to get set up just going to college.
Yeah, that thing's awful.
But we are not giving you any advice on the FAFSA because frankly, the fact that I mentioned it could decrease the likes of this show. So I may just take that out.
Don't they eventually come around and tell you we're not going to give you any money anyway? Isn't that sort of the goal of FAFSA?
Well, and the situation is there's times you don't want money. But then you can't get away from them. They want to get you on a government loan regardless of what you want to do. And it's just a whole nother thing.
That's a whole nother episode.
Yeah, I don't want to get into it, but we're going to sit here today and we got some really good, I think we got some really good things you guys need to consider. And Brent kind of talked about, there's some major things everybody's always worried about, their kid going away to college, even mine going here in town or whatever. There's a lot of safety issues. There's a lot of important things that we're not going to talk about, but people do check in on who your roommates are and being safe. We want everybody to be safe on social issues and watch out for all the deviants out there. I totally get that, but there's a lot of Yeah, you got to be careful. But those are not areas that we really are going to specialize in a lot of this. We're going to talk about some of the other areas that you actually can do something about. And you sometimes forget because you're too busy thinking about those tragic, when they happen, they're awful. But
but you can overthink that a little bit too.
You might
but
get
the
overthinking
summer
a little bit.
before, I mean, the fall, or where we are now in this early spring time frame, the parents are I was thinking about it this morning when I was walking. I was like, yeah, it's kind of like fueling up a Saturn V rocket, right? You're fueling up and getting this kid ready to launch. And this is a message to you kids: launch. Okay, we want you to launch. Your parents are setting you up for success by sending you off to school. So do it, take it, run with it, become somebody. But that's the neat thing about going off to school is that you can be a new person. I mean, you can, if you've not liked everything about yourself and you want to change some things, this is your chance.
Yeah,
you're going to be out with new people. This is your chance to
make it happen.
It's your chance to run with the ball. Your parents aren't going to be watching over you, and that's a good and a bad thing. For me, it was a bad thing. But
depends on who you talk to.
Yeah, you'll be like, I'm unsupervised. I remember waking up the first morning that I was there, in the dorm, and I was like, man, nobody's watching me. I can do whatever the heck I want. And it was exhilarating, right? Because I was like, man, I can do whatever the heck I want here. And man, that was, for a guy like me, that was frightening, because I mean, I need supervision still, even today.
It's true, and it can be scary too when you go out and that would be, I think the other thing that if you're a kid or you're out there, I don't know if anybody will tell you this because everybody's trying to get everybody prepared. You've got to get them prepared for college. Guess what? There's no way to get prepared for that next stage. And I don't care if you're going to trade school, you're going to go into some employment, you're going to go do some. There's no way to prepare. You don't know enough. You don't know anything. You're not really supposed to. I mean, there's some kids that are.
No, that's the beauty of it.
It is. And some are further along in certain areas or not, but no one's a complete package.
No, so you're not ready for it.
Don't freak out about not knowing everything. That's where your risk graders are going to help you today. We're not going to teach you everything because you're just going to have to learn some crap.
Come on, a shot out of a cannon. You don't know where you're going to land.
You don't know. And you know what? And you're going to make mistakes. That's one thing too. Oh my gosh. I mean, this is the place to do it. This is the time to do it. You just don't want to, our thing is we want to help you not make the mistakes that alter the future. You're going to make mistakes that you're going to learn from, right? But there's things you can do that can be life-changing in a good way instead of a bad way. And so we're going to give you some tips, and parents, chill out a little bit. Yeah. They're going to be okay. That's what I keep telling myself.
You're definitely going into a period as a kid where you're playing for keeps now. I mean, they're keeping score, and you do have to be careful. As like Jeff said, you don't want to do something that impacts your future in a way you can't fix. So you do have to be a little cognizant of the risks that are out there because they're substantial. I mean, you can definitely mess up in college and do something that impacts you negatively for the rest of your life, obviously. But if you're careful and thoughtful and just take some of these things into account, you're going to be okay. It's going to be all right. You're going to make some lifelong friends. You're going to do some dumb stuff, but it's going to be funny later. You're going to laugh about it. I mean, good grief, some of the crazy stuff we did. Oh my God. And it's funny now. It wasn't funny at the time.
Well, it's a different climate, with the cell phones and the documentation, and there's ways to get in. There's ways to get in some seriously more deviant trouble now than there was back when we were younger. But the
phone
premise,
cam's a problem.
Yeah, the premise is the same. So today, when we're going to get into this, we're talking to parents, grandparents, actually anybody, because this is the same thing that goes into it. So we just did our therapy section. I think that was good therapy. I feel like you and I did a good job of prepping the audience. It's like rubbing you on the back and telling you it's going to be okay.
It's going to be okay.
It is, but let's make it better today. Because how can we make it better? So I know you've already freaked out and you've checked everybody out. You've done the background checks. You've got all the safety. Where's the little microwave that's not going to blow up? Okay, we're good.
Unless you put metal in it, just saying.
And we're going to talk about that. But Brent, we're getting into the dorm now. We're moving into we're going to go to this residence. We're going to go in there. It's going to be holy crap, like you said, freedom, fun, a little bit of nervous. What are we going to need to look at? What is risk graders going to have a family look at?
You have rights and responsibilities.
Wow, that's very legal.
But you're responsible for your actions now.
You're an adult.
And you've got this person called a roommate or roommates. I think a lot of people, I guess they have like a suite where you have 4 roommates or 3 roommates. And it's a little different animal. I just had one roommate, and we had our beds faced, they were pull-out beds. And in Clement Hall, when your beds are pulled out, you're like a foot apart now. And I'm an only child, so I'd never slept that close to anybody else before. I was like, damn, dude, you're right there.
It's very similar to prison.
Yeah, it was. Let me tell you something. There's a lot of similarities in prison. We shared a sink, the whole thing. We had one, and back then you didn't have a fancy bathroom like that. We had to go down the hall, dude.
Yeah.
And I'd never done that either. I was like, hey, I'm in the bathroom with 50 other people. What the heck? It's a bit of an awakening, but it's all good, because you're around people a lot, and you're having fun and talking about what's going on in the world, and listening to music, and it's all good. I mean, it's all good, and you're making new friends. A lot of them will become lifelong friends. It's a good thing. It's something to experience. I wish I could do it again.
Yeah, they need to have adult college.
That's what I was thinking.
That's what I was saying. If somebody could give us an honorary degree, you and I for a semester would go back. We would say we will do a semester.
Like they need to have a dorm where we can go move into.
That's what I'm saying. Though. No, we don't want to
or something.
Yeah, but we don't want to do the schoolwork. We just want to do that part.
I could do it like I did back then.
Well, maybe.
Barely showed up and in the back of the room like.
It's a little different now.
Does he see me? I don't think he sees me.
Yeah, but see, I was always in the back because you were a B and I'm an S.
Yeah,
and
but they didn't do the alpha when I was there. Brother. You came in, there was nothing. So I would always on the back row, like sneaking in late, and they couldn't say my name anyway.
What is in there?
What's that guy in the back? What's his name again?
Borgstette.
It's long. Can't say it. It's some kind of foreign name.
Yeah. Well, don't think that Shropshire didn't screw him up a little bit.
Yeah, that was just.
I just had people go Schmurmenmeyer. I was like, there's no Schmurmenmeyer. I'm like, there's no. It's Schmurmenmeyer. Yeah. Okay. Jeff.
Yeah, they couldn't even. It was like whatever.
I was known as Mr. Jeff, and I still didn't pay any attention to that. So okay, so now it's a little bit different because back when we were in college, you showed up. If you were a guy, you showed up with a knapsack. You maybe had a poster. You maybe had a couple of pair of underwear. You had a poster. When my daughter went to school, we had this room look like you turned it into a little Taj Mahal thing.
I know, right?
And then I went into the guys, and all the guys either had a flag or a poster and a duffel bag. And I'm hoping.
It.
And my son's like looking at it going, Dad, I swear I just need like a couple of skivvies and I'll nail something like up on the wall. But then I think moving me in will take a whole 2 minutes. And I'm thinking, I love this kid. My
parents, because we live in Houston and a lot of kids, their parents took them to school. My parents were like, bye. My dad's like, we're not taking you to school. I mean, we're not going to drive 502 miles to take you to school. I mean, they were just like, here's your stuff. We'll see you at Thanksgiving or something.
Yeah. Where's Dad? He's at work. Oh, he's on the phone. Bye, Brent.
Bye. Well,
I'll see you.
Yeah.
And you don't have to come home for Thanksgiving unless you just really
you don't have to if you don't want to. Right. Well, my dad didn't think I was going to make it anyway. I mean, he was like, you're not college material, dude. You're not going to, he's like, we'll see you Christmas time. You'll have flunked out. It'll be over.
Oh, yeah, I know. Well, after that first semester, I got a letter from the president's office that said, are you sure you want to continue going to school here? Because we've never quite seen a number this low before.
Yeah.
And it was
0.0.
It was kind of like that. It was very Animal House-ish.
Dude.
It was a mind numbing. I don't suggest anybody. I do suggest that 1, you go to class. 2, don't take any test after a drinking cig. It was not a good idea. I never should have done it.
God's sakes, your freshman year, don't sign up for any 7:30 in the morning classes. For God's sakes, man.
Let's just be honest.
You're not 10:30 classes for a reason.
You're not going to go. You're not going to go.
It's not going to happen.
And you're going to try to get all your classes in by noon. It's fine. You can still do that. But that 7:30 class, that's for other people.
Dude, that's for older kids.
Yeah.
My first class was 7:30. It was anthropology. And I even remember my professor's name was Averill, Dr. Averill. And I remember about the third week, I hadn't even been there. And I come in at 7:30 and I was looking pretty ragged. And he was like, Mr. And he's looking at Mr.
Borgstette.
He's like, are you sure you're in this class? And I was like, yes, sir, I am. I've missed a few. He goes, a few? It's the first time you've been here. It's week 3. And I was like, well, I came by to get my syllabus. I was like, I don't think you're going to make it in here. And I did actually pass it. I did okay because I realized I had to pass something that semester. And
you had a hurdle and you were going to jump it.
Well, and anthropology is kind of about digging in the dirt and stuff like that. I could relate to it a little bit. It was pretty rudimentary.
Yeah.
So
it's about the earth. We'll take it. No, okay.
So I know you had some of those big classes in Holden Hall, probably 300. What were those center rooms? They call the rotunda
it's
in
just
there.
The mass exodus. It's all the intro classes.
Yeah.
Oh, and
there were like 300 kids in there.
There's 300 kids, and I'm going to tell you, there was this. The biology, that little biology building where it had this one big, it was the most comfortable sleeping place. It was kind of like,
you fell dead asleep in there.
Yeah. You kind of felt like you were where do you go to look at the stars and stuff? What are those,
a planetarium.
It was like a planetarium, and you sleep the best in those places. And I would get so comfortable. It'd either be so cool or so warm. I really enjoyed every class there. But honestly, I didn't do well.
But yeah, go to class. I mean, if that's the one thing you get out of this show is go to class.
Yeah, and I joke about it, but I did get that letter, and by poofing off that first semester, I had to, for the rest of my college career,
I had to make it all out of.
And so funny memories, blah blah blah. And now that it's over, but it didn't make the rest of it as quite as much fun if I would have been more diligent and responsible. So go to class.
Don't do terrible your first couple of semesters because, man, it makes it hard on your GPA.
Oh, it does. So here's the thing, though, Brent. When you and I went to school, like I said, we just took a backpack, some clothes. These kids now, I mean, you have to. You're taking. Everybody's taking laptops. Everybody's taking a lot of technology. You're taking a lot of stuff, and it's not because you're just, you have to. It's the way the world's changed. So you've got this stuff now that's moving with you, and I don't know. Parents and everybody needs to figure out kind of how would we tell parents to make sure, because what's going to happen is you're going to be carrying that backpack, and you're going to be tired, and you're going to forget to zip it up right, and that laptop's going to fall out. It's going to crash.
Gravity.
Gravity. What do you say about gravity?
Gravity is not just a good idea. It's the law.
It's the law. It's the law, ladies and gentlemen. So it's going to either happen that way or, the way with the dorm situations are, things are going to disappear.
Yeah,
they just
are.
You're
gonna lose it.
You get so many people, you're going to lose it. There's somewhere in there, somebody might take it. The odds are high. So
you're going to break it.
You're going to break it. Yeah, you probably are.
Fall out of your window.
More than likely, it's going to be you. It's not going to be them. But
what
would
it's
you
not going to be someone else, probably.
What should we tell somebody to do? And we're girls of risk management. What should they do to protect that stuff?
I'll tell you something. I've been thinking about it a lot lately because I knew we were going to talk about it on the show. And people, you do have some automatic coverage under your homeowners for stuff away from premises. But honestly, I don't like to trust that. If it were me doing it again, and what I tell most of our customers is, if you got kids going off to school, let's put the address on the policy. Let's try to get some real concrete liability extension and contents coverage for that kid away from school, because you got, like, in the back in the day when we just moved with a garbage bag, we literally had a Glad bag with our underwear and shirts, and that was all we took to school. Now a kid goes off to school at a minimum of $25,000 worth of stuff.
I mean, it's easy to get to that number.
Oh
it really
my gosh, it's super easy. And so I think you really need to address it in the policy. Let's talk to your agent. Let's make sure there's an extension, because policies are different now. They're not the old HOB that had a lot of extensions that were automatic. You need to make sure that you've got off-premises coverage for that kid, not just contents, but liability too.
No, that's a big one.
Because that kid's going to be out there doing stuff, and I just think it needs to be handled. It needs to be talked about with your agent. Don't assume that it's going to be covered.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. A lot of the things we do here, and I did it with my kids, is I would get them, we would do a tenant policy.
I'm a big fan of
that separate tenant policy. And folks, they're not expensive, so talk to your agent about it, because there's a lot of strategies here. But my strategy personally was to get them that own policy. We could put a limit on there for their contents. We could then, and I did this, I'd even schedule the computers. Talk to your agent about scheduling things because it broadens the coverage. If things get lost, it doesn't have to just get broken. It brings a lot of extra coverage in there. And then the liability.
You're talking about a couple, $200 or $300 a year. It's not expensive.
It's not. It's worth it. Their name's on it, so there's no question of who's covered, who's not. It's a great way, and everybody has a different scenario, and you're going different places, and you're taking different stuff. So while you're worrying about all those other things, I understand this is something simple. It's a phone call to your agent, and you need to tell, and you know, addresses, make sure that, like Brent said, the address where the college is. So get with the agent and say, hey, XYZ, this is where we're going. This is what we're taking. What do we need to do to make sure there's coverage? And then let the wizards of insurance work with you on that. And that's so easy.
Especially if you're going out of state. Because then, you know, that's kind of a whole different thing, especially with the car. We'll talk about cars in a minute. But, man, you're taking a car out of state. You've got to talk to somebody about that. You just cannot assume that policy is going to follow you because it is likely not going to.
Right.
It's just not. These policies are not like that anymore. The automatic coverage stuff is just not there, especially if you've gone out and found yourself a budget auto policy. Guess what, folks? It's name driver, name vehicle, and it doesn't follow you anywhere. So be careful with the vehicles.
Yeah, the coverage ranges are shrinking in these policies. They're not broad. There's just, like Brent said, this is where, and it's not going to take you long. Take 10 minutes and call your agent. This is not a hard thing for them to figure out. It's not going to be expensive for you, but out of town, in town, down the street, it does not matter these exposures follow you, but they're easy to be fixed. Gosh, now let's talk about this one, Brent, because this exposure is new. This was not around when you and I were there, but these e-scooters.
Dude, you had to school me up on that a little bit. And I saw them when I was out there with you for the BYU game. I'd never seen, I've seen scooters, don't get me wrong, but I had never seen like a scooter for every foot. I mean, literally, you've heard that joke about a chicken in every pot. I mean, there was literally every kid was zooming around on the scooters, and I was like, Jesus, what is going on here?
It's these companies like Lime and other people, and it's a great business model if you really think about it. But what they do, I know like our university, Texas Tech here allows them. I don't know about like U of H and everywhere else, but what they do is they bring in and they just lay these scooters around, and then they're
not locked?
No, they lay them. You can even find them in town. There's no rule they have to stay on the campus. So what happens is, and I know very little about this. So if I'm speaking out of turn, no one call me and go. But I'm just going back in when they started, kind of when my daughter was there a few years ago. But the company they have them on the campus, and all you do is you pick one up, you swap your credit card on it, and then you scoot it. And then when you go and get wherever you are, you just lay it down, hit a button, and you walk away, and you get charged for using it for that time. Then anybody else can walk out, and people have like in the cities, a lot of the major cities, there's e-bikes. It's the same philosophy in metropolitan cities. But I'm just speaking here, Lubbock is a smaller, West Texas community, but where we really see it is more around, definitely in the university. But I've seen them on the curbs of residential because you can take them anywhere. And then
they won't run until you touch your card to it.
Right. And then the idea is that somebody somewhere, agrees, or you could, if you take one and if you charge it and do all this stuff, they have some agreements either with people or somehow that if you charge it and you put it back out on the public, I don't know, you get credit or something.
You get like a discount if you put it back on the charger or something. Okay.
And I don't know how it works, but everybody's keeping it. But they're laying all around. Not only are they used for students, but if you go out to a football and your game and you're tailgating, basketball game, and what are you going to see? You're going to see bozos like me. Anybody can ride them. They're not just for tech. So you see 7-year-old kids because there's no age thing. So you can be tailgating and folks let their kids take them. They're going everywhere. And then the college kids really use them as a mode of operation. Texas Tech's a large campus, as you know.
That's huge.
You can, and it may, you step back and you go, this makes a lot of sense. Instead of having to ride the buses and stuff,
No, I get it. It makes a lot of sense, except, boy, it seems like a risk management nightmare to me. And I'm just thinking about it in my head is like, geez, you got a company, a for-profit company that's put a bunch of guided missiles out there that people can just jump on and ride anywhere they want. Surely those are insured, right? For
who? That's what the question
well,
is.
That's my question is, isn't the company who put that on the ground responsible for what happens with it?
Well,
No?
when you read the information, the answer, are they responsible? A lot of time the answer is no. If you refer to what the Texas Department of Insurance says and a lot of agreements, when you swipe that in the agreement that you have to use that vehicle, you basically sign away, from my understanding, at least from what I could find, you sign away a lot of your rights. There's a few, it depends on the state. So if you're going to use a certain brand, you need to go to their website and they post this information of exactly what it does. But in general, if in most states, they're going to have the hold harmless agreements and stuff to where if you're using that vehicle, that scooter, and you get hurt or you run into somebody's car or you run over somebody, you're going to be very, very surprised.
So it's kind of like renting a car. Your insurance follow. Well, in theory, your insurance should be responsible, but therein lies the problem.
That's right.
Is your insurance isn't going to follow you when you're driving a piece of, I guess it's mobile equipment, basically.
Well, yeah. So the idea is when you or your kid in college or your kid at a tailgate or you wherever, you jump on one of these rental e-scooters, whatever happens is on you. And so I know. And so here's the question. You go, well, is my auto insurance policy, there's liability there. Well, is there? Because there's an exclusion.
Not for a piece of mobile equipment.
No, and there's an exclusion too for the number of wheels, right? These are 2-wheelers, and if you're on your auto, it's like 3 wheels or more.
So this is essentially a motorcycle.
Yeah, pretty much. And then you have, it's covered under my homeowner's policy. And guess what? Naturally, it's not. It's a piece of motorized equipment.
No way that's going to be covered on your homeowners unless you have some kind of endorsement.
So this is what you need to do if you or your college student or you're going to be at a tailgate as a family. You need to look up and you need to call your agent and you need to find out if your policies pick up coverage for this, because every time you jump on that, it's on you. It's your assets. It's your liability driving down the road. And there's some, if you go into the AI world and stuff, there's some suggestions that some carriers or what may have endorsements that you can add for these things. I don't know about that. I'm
what I see coming? You remember back in the 80s when kids were delivering pizzas and TDI made all the auto carriers add that coverage to the auto policy? I bet that's going to happen.
But Brent, these have been out for over 10 years now. I mean, we're at 7 or 8 years. And when I went on some of these websites, depending on certain states and certain places, there's a little liability policy, but there's only two places on one of them in the United States. And I have not researched all this. You need to do your own research, pull up the company, look at it, call your agent. But if your kid's
going to a particular campus, which they obviously are, you need to find out what kind of scooters they have, and you need to get that endorsement on your homeowner's policy if it's available.
If they have it.
If it's available, and if it's not, available, boy.
Big problem. But, it's one of those things to where, it's on the college campus now. It seems like a simple deal, but this may be one of your biggest liability situations.
Absolutely.
For anybody, and you can use this if you're in a city. You need to research that. And honestly, the best risk management tip right now is, try to stay off of them unless you don't know. Unless you don't know you have coverage, then, I'd stay off of it. But
I would say, too, that the biggest risk with these things is they're very lightweight. So it's not like even if you ran one into someone's car, you're not going to do much damage.
Really?
But what I see happening is you causing
Beamers?
An accident. You pull out in front of somebody and they swerve to miss you and run into people or places or things. And you're going to be responsible because you didn't cross at the crosswalk or whatever.
I know.
And if you think they're not going to come after you, guess what? They are.
They will come after you. So this is a real exposure on the college campuses. I'm not telling people not to use them. I'm just telling you, unless you know.
Be aware of the risk.
Be aware of the risk. If you're going to assume it, fine, assume it. If you were thinking it's going to be covered somewhere else, you need to do a lot of research because it's hard to find where that's going to be the case. So,
I don't see it. I don't see any automatic coverage anywhere for that.
Not on an unendorsed policy, and and we don't know all the insurance carriers out there and all that stuff. So I don't know who or what has those endorsements.
If it was a kick scooter, like you pushed it with your own feet, that might be something different. But this thing's motorized, and that's a different legal definition altogether.
Dude, I almost feel like we're insurance people.
I scare myself sometimes. I'm like, I actually know something.
Stay away from the scooter. Yeah, but who would have thought it? Because I thought when it came out, and we do this for a living. That's the problem is like, going to college and all this stuff. You see this stuff, and sometimes you have to stop and you need to do a little research. So that's what we're trying to do for you here. So we with scooters, problem.
Yeah, we're going to move on to the vehicle real quick because we're a little over time. But the quick thing about the cars now, and this is true anywhere, policies now are not a catch-all like they once were. Everybody's got to be named. The vehicle's got to be named. So when your kids goes off to school, you need to make sure they understand that they cannot loan their car to someone.
Oh, God. My dad.
You cannot let your roommate drive your car. No. You cannot loan your car. And also don't drive someone else's car because these policies don't necessarily follow you anymore like they used to. You've got to be very cognizant of that.
Oh my gosh. Even back in the day, my dad had a rule. He's an insurance guy. He said, Jeff, no one, as soon as he gave me the keys, he goes, no one else drives this car.
No one.
You call the police, you call the wrecker, you call me. No one drives this car. Because one, even if they are covered, they're driving around with your liability, your exposure, your assets. It's on you. It follows the car first. That was the first thing. But now, like Brent said, when you're having policies restricting who are covered drivers, that opens up a whole nother can of worms that blows your freaking mind. I'm telling you,
so specific now.
Don't drive the car.
No one else drives anyone else's car. Don't loan your car. That's a rule. Do not do it. I mean, it's just, and everybody's, nothing will happen, and probably it won't. But guess what? If it does, you're in a world of hurt.
No, it does happen.
And you brought your parents into a world of hurt too, which they don't need, frankly, at that juncture because they're paying for your school and everything else. And wow, don't do it.
No, and at the same point in time, if you touch the drink, if you touch a vape, if you do any of those things, whether it's legal or illegal that affects your mental capacity, do not get behind the wheel. Don't use your car. No one drives your car. Call Uber. Call anybody else who's not with you, who's not under the influence.
Man, if you're impaired in any way, and I don't care if you've been drinking or I'm just going to say it, gummies or whatever you've been doing,
just gotta be honest
do not get behind the wheel. That's a life-changing event. You want to talk about something that's permanent record, life-changing? You go out and hurt somebody while you've been drinking, dude, you are stuck with that forever.
No, and even if you don't have an accident or kill somebody, you get a DUI, you get an under the influence, you're going to pay financially, you're going to pay on every level possible. It's going to show up. You're going to try to go work for a company.
You're not going to be able to get a job in some cases.
They're going to run motor vehicle reports on everybody.
It's going to come up.
It is. And no one is prude about this on the risk raters. We had fun. We did all that, not all that stuff, but I'm just saying.
Different world now.
Yeah, we had situations where, I maybe had a couple of beers I shouldn't have, I didn't need behind the wheel. And I'm just going to tell you, don't be behind the wheel.
There's no reason to.
There's not.
Any college campus has got Uber or Lyft or any of the ride-sharing deals. And this is something I would recommend to the parents. You've got a Lyft account yourself. Add your kids to it, or rather put your credit card. I know this sounds crazy. Get your kid a Lyft account or an Uber account or both.
Yeah.
And put your credit card on it so there's no barrier for that kid using Lyft or Uber. If they're out and they've been drinking or whatever, and they're at a party in a college town, and they're like, oh, Dad told me not to drive, they can just pull up their app and they know it's paid for. I can get home. And leave your car, for gosh sake, if you've been drinking. Getting your wheels stolen is a heck of a lot better than spending the night in jail. I'm sorry.
It is. And you as parents,
be smart about it.
You can hold your kid accountable with these things. You can make them pay for deductibles. You can make them pay for premiums. You can make them pay financially for everything. But this keeps people from paying for everything permanently.
Forever.
And, that's the things. It's good to have that talk with your kid before they go off. It's not just the guys. It's the girls, too.
Oh, yeah,
These are
everybody.
the rules. And you know what? It may cost you with me, but that's going to be better than costing you with somebody's life being taken, your life being taken, your just total destruction of your life. You've done so much to get to where you are, and then you blow it in a moment. So, don't do it. Don't do it. And then just don't have anybody driving your vehicle for any reason. And you're going to find that just making that rule, my gosh, you've already just cut out a lot of problems right there, because we want everybody to come home. We want everybody to have a great time in college. It's the best time of your life. For some people, it's a launching pad no matter what. But man, don't do these things that can ruin you forever. And it does.
Don't ruin your life.
People.
Don't make and these are unforced errors, as I like to call them. There's no reason to do it when you've got Uber and Lyft. I mean, just call for a ride. It's not that complicated.
Just call for a ride. It's really simple. So if in college, if the car's going with you, you need to make sure that your policy goes with you. You need to have those addresses in there. You need to make sure all that, and you need to call your agent. When you're going to go, you're going to call them and talk to them about the stuff you're taking, and you're going to talk about the car that you're taking, and you're going to let them know everything so they can make sure they tailor coverage for you, so there's no surprises.
Don't gaslight your agent, for Christ's sake. Tell them everything.
It is. It's just crazy. Man, I think if, these are some good pillars, we're probably going to do another episode of this show. We'll probably do something like this twice a year.
Yeah, maybe in August when we get closer to school starting, we'll do another show and kind of remind everybody.
I think so,
of some of this stuff. But yeah, I think we're about ready to wrap up. But hey, let's talk about a couple of things. Red Raiders dropped 2 basketball games in a row. I'm like, oh, dude, I don't know what to say.
No.
Not good. Baseball season starting, but the basketball team's still doing good. I think that's just an anomaly. They're going to snap back and have a great season. But how about this? Olympics opening ceremony of the Olympics tonight?
Man,
that's always cool.
What? It just reminds me of the hockey team, though.
I know, right? Right. It's winter Olympics, man. So you've got all the cool stuff, ice hockey and
it's all
curling.
New to me.
Who doesn't like curling?
Well, I'm not going to say it, but I think
You don't like people wiping ice?
I love it. I'm kind of wondering why we don't have like bowling alleys, don't have over here like a curling. Well, I mean, because you think that I think it's the indoor ice rink is hard to manage and all that stuff. But you think you could do like a bowling lane, and like people like me, I don't have to skate. I don't have to worry about that. I just put on the little shoes, and it could just be
you'd be a mopping fool.
Great.
It would be. I'd be the pusher, and you'd be the guy out there with the mop, I think. Maybe it'd be the other way around. I don't know.
But the language would just be, well, we couldn't be recorded on that. Because
No. You have to mute. You'd have to mute that.
Oh, but that would be fun, man, to be throwing down, going, and I've had it with this. Let's settle it on the curling lane. And you know what's going to happen?
There's so many cool sports, man. The downhill skiing. And how about that Lindsey Vohn's going to ski at 41, and she doesn't even have a ACL, right?
She has no legs.
She's got no leg, and she's going to go downhill racer, man, like Robert Redford. I'm like, dude, what are you thinking?
But then there's the luge.
Oh, how crazy is that?
The lugers. Is that what they are? Are they loogies? Lugers?
Well, there's 2 of them. There's bobsled.
Bobsled's like in the little
luge,
cart.
Which is you by yourself, basically on a knife.
But
you're going down on a knife.
And you're putting all your important parts in front. Going 3,000 miles per hour on a curve. Can you imagine the first person who introduced this said, hey, I got an idea for Olympic sport. We put a guy on the slickest pad ever, and we make him go
knife blades.
Feet first.
And there's no steering wheel. You basically shift your weight just ever incrementally. And brother, if you shift it wrong, you're balled up in a corner somewhere.
Yeah, but you'll be fine because you have a helmet.
Yeah, you got a helmet on. Yeah, your head will be intact. The rest of your body will look like a pretzel.
Exactly. That's what I love about it. They're going like 3,000 miles per hour on ice. You hit anything, it's going to be like hitting a brick wall. Make sure you have your helmet on.
Yeah, put your helmet on.
Yeah, it's gonna be great, especially when your legs are first. I think that helmet, by the time at the end the impact gets to your head, you're not going to want to live anymore anyway.
No. You're done. No, I swear.
I like
God, how cool is that? Olympic sports, there's so many cool. We get to have another show about all the cool Olympic sports. I mean, no kidding. I like the slalom, man. I like a lot of these things.
But you know what's funny about
that? What's the jump where they come down? It was like the opening for Wide World of Sports.
Yeah,
the guy would jump and crash.
It's just a ski jump when they lean over their skis.
Yeah, what is that called, though?
I just call it the feat from hell. I can't imagine. Can you imagine?
How do you do it the first time?
That's what I was going to say. How do you ever go? It's like a pole vaulter. How do you? Sam has a good friend who's a pole vaulter, and I'm like, how is it that first time you stick it and you make it? But then these people are going 3,000 miles per hour, and then once you come off of that, you know you're going to land because why? Gravity? What?
It's the law.
Gravity's the law.
It's not just a good idea, it's the law.
And you're going to land one way or the other. And
think about that downhill jump thing. You can't go slow the first time. You have to go fast enough to fly through the air. You'll fall off the edge and break your neck. So you've got to go for it the first time. I don't know how. I don't know how that's done.
Here's what's going to be the weird thing for the next
Maybe they have a net. Maybe they have a net that you jump into the first time.
Well, that's not fair. Or a swimming pool. I mean, that takes if I'm watching it, I'm like, I don't want to see the net. Maybe they have parachutes. They go up in that. But here's the crazy thing. This is the crazy thing about the Olympic sport. You and I know nothing about Olympic sports. We live here in Texas. Like,
the only thing, zero.
I had a little bit of ice on the street. I'm like, oh. So I don't know anything really about any of these sports. But in the next 2 weeks while we're on this show, we're going to be talking like we're experts. Did you see the triple flip that guy did? I just don't think he really stuck it.
720.
Yeah, and can you believe the luge guy only went like 400 miles per hour? Everybody else was doing 5. What are we doing? You know,
we're snowboarders are going like 50 feet in the air and trying to come back and land on a slope.
Yeah, and we're going to be like making fun of the ski lift guy who lands wrong. Like, hey, we're going to know. We're going to know. It's like me watching MMA. Like, I don't know anything about it besides people being there. We're going to be experts these next 2 weeks, ladies and gentlemen. So you need to pay attention for your Olympic update.
Yeah.
With Risk Raiders, we're going to tell you like it is. We're going to give you the rundown.
And then Sunday is Super Bowl Sunday, man. Although this is my prediction, not going to be much of a game. I don't think anybody can run with Seattle. I mean, I'm sorry.
But
I think these other guys, I don't think they're going to be able to do anything.
I got to be honest with you. I have no excitement about it.
I'm not really that fired up. We thought the Texans were going to be in it, and so we were all excited. Now that they've lost in the playoffs and are out, I'm kind of like, I don't care.
No,
I care. I'll watch it.
I mean, I'm going to watch it. And I'm going to focus
stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm kind of focus on the nacho.
Yeah, I'm thinking about nachos. I'm not thinking about the game.
Yeah, there'll be a nap involved, and then there'll be. And you know what's bad is when you have that Super Bowl. I don't know if it'll be like this because I don't know if they'll let it because I think it's all kind of fixed in a way. I don't know.
That's what my son always says.
But you know what I'm saying, though? It's like everything goes down to overtime now. Have you noticed, like, there's not like a blowout ever? It's like, it's going to go into over. I mean, everything's overtime or down.
It's scripted.
Yeah, when you and I were younger, like, there was a Super Bowl and somebody just got the living kicked out
it was
of
like
them.
50-0.
Yeah, but like the third quarter, everybody's like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
So all the beer commercials. But now, it always goes down to, it's a 3-point game. Oh, and I'm like, how is it always a close game now on everything?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a coincidence, does it?
Yeah, and they're not really boosting the commercials. I'm not hearing a lot about the commercials. I'm hearing about the halftime.
Those are always good.
I like it. But there's nothing better, though, than those old Budweiser commercials.
Oh, yeah, with the Clydesdales and stuff. Who's the halftime show? I saw it. No, I can't remember who it is.
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny. Yeah, I never can remember exactly who Bad Bunny is.
It's not going to be in English. It's basically Bad Bunny, I believe, is a Latino. He just won the Grammys.
Right?
Yeah. And
so that's right. He won a Grammy. Okay, yeah. So it might be cool. I don't know.
I mean, it's not.
The production is usually amazing. There's all kinds of light and smoke and mirrors. So
as long as I don't have to do it. Yeah. I have the brain of a baby.
Oh,
look, a light.
Shiny. Smoke.
If they were to like shoot a little person out of a cannon, I'd be like, yes, that's what I'd love to see.
I don't even know what it is.
I don't either. Don't care because I'll move on to the next nacho. That's what it's going to be.
I'm looking for the next. Are those nachos ready?
Yeah.
Because I ate the last tray.
I think I'm going for nachos and mozzarella sticks this year and a little bit of sausage. And then I'll have
some grilled sausage. That's a roll.
And then I'll have a couple of broccoli heads just to make sure that everything gets through the next day.
But they're in another room, right? You don't have them in the main room.
Well, no one will see them. I'll have them I'll keep the broccoli in the bathroom. So I'm like, no. It's just for me.
Put some in your teeth. Like I ate some broccoli. No, you didn't.
Oh my God, honey, I'm so full. I had so much broccoli and celery. Oh my God.
You could have like a bowl in the bathroom with a bunch of little broccoli crumbs and you just wipe them on your teeth. I had broccoli.
I did. Well, it'll be great, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful Super Bowl Sunday.
Have a great weekend, wonderful Super Bowl. And The opening ceremony tonight will be, I'm sure, incredible. So watch that. And everybody have a great weekend. Let's go back. No, don't forget, guns up, baby.
Come on, basketball
guns
team.
up.
You're in there. Y'all can do it. We're proud of you.
Yeah.
See you
Everyone
next
take
week.
care. And we'll see you next week.